You know, when we talk about people, then the qualities that it takes to be in the Hall of Fame, there are many, many different ways you could measure. I think each and every one of us would probably have a different measuring scale. But certainly when we stand here tonight, the one theme that everybody has championed, no matter what they were talking about tonight, whether you were an inductee, you were Spanky, whoever was up here at this microphone said one thing. They passionately believe in the auction business. That's the one thing that we hold in common. We passionately care about this industry. We think we have an industry that really knows no bounds, which is a very true statement. So the one thing that all of these inductees have in common is that passion for the industry. Now, my inductee, I think it won't take but just a moment and you'll know exactly who he is. But if you're going to use the criteria of what have you done for the NAA, there might not be anybody that really has been more critical in the history of this organization, especially in the last 7 or 8 years, than the gentleman that I'm going to introduce. Now, there are a few facts about my inductee that you might not know. It was the last day of February in the far north. The baby doctor called the expectant mother, telling her of an impending blizzard. He said if she came to the hospital immediately, they would beat the blizzard and he would cut his fees in half for her diligence. Well, this was a forewarning of what was to come. From the bouncing baby boy delivered the morning of March the 1st, 1955. From that moment on, the young man focused on how to squeeze the most from every dollar he encountered. Time only sharpened, you know who it is. Time only sharpened his expertise and focus where money was concerned. At the age of 10, the then older boy decided it was time to launch his first business venture. He instructed his mother to buy candy bars wholesale in bulk so he could then sell them to his classmates retail. In his early years, he became a monopoly guru. His brother states, and this is a fact, came right from his brother, he states he was a ruthless monopoly player. In fact, he doesn't think he ever beat him one time, and at times, he even charged him interest on the money that he was ahead. It has been said that this inductee originated the concept of squeezing a dime's worth of value from every nickel. The cold weather bothered him. He preferred to wear shorts even at below freezing temperatures. So his only option was moving to sunny Florida in the middle of the 1970s. The warm weather warmed his brain and caused an explosion of entrepreneurial ideas. Leading the list were unlimited auction scenarios, from business and selling at auction to starting a business of selling auction supplies to his fellow auctioneers. And today, there isn't anybody in the room that probably hasn't bought auction supplies for my inductee. In 1987, the chilly winds of the north lured him home. He set up shop in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. This has been his base of operations to this day. There is no end to his innovative business ideas. He had the dollar, I've been kidding a lot, now I'm going to try to deal with facts. He had the Dollar General concept long before they thought of it. One unique idea was developed in the world's largest inventory of parts and crystals for collectible chandeliers. When searching for that broken or lost crystal that will bring your chandelier's value back into the thousands, his stop is #1 in the world. He once told his brother of a book trading venture where he was buying books for 25 cents and selling them for $5. He quoted the markup as 20% profit. His brother thought a moment and replied, "Great idea, only that is 200% profit." And that's kind of what he's tried to stick with. My inductee's #1 business concept, even surpassing his drive for profitability, has been helping his employees attain their goals and dreams. When you work in his enterprise, you have the possibility for a lifetime job, a very rare thing in today's world. His sister said, be sure you point out that if you work for him, you really have a guaranteed job for life, and he will take you to the stars if he possibly can. His motto is, let's climb the mountain together. Together we can enjoy the view from the top. His marketing innovation knows no bounds. His father owned a unique Colt pistol dating back to the Civil War era. He and his brother, along with his dad, took the pistol to a nationwide show of Colt collectible firearms. Although this was their very first gun show and only one pistol to display, they won first of show. The value of the talent given by my inductee to NAA has rarely, if ever, been equaled. Always working quietly behind the scenes to make the best better. He has an uncanny ability to get the biggest bang for the buck. Prioritizing financial needs is possibly the most critical part of any business. I've never met anybody that was his equal. He passionately believes in this organization and does give timelessly his time without regard for personal gain or recognition. When he received the President's Citation Award, I remember very vividly the day I gave it to him. Guess what? We couldn't find him to give it to him because naturally he wouldn't be expecting that he would get an award. And that might happen tonight. I hope he's in the room right now. We had, I need to just go a little bit of an aside. A lot of you that are what I call longtime members of NAA realize that when I happened to be president, very early on in my term, we had a little bit of a rough patch. I think the executive committee called it something like a wreck, but we'll call it a rough patch. The day that our executive committee was kind of looking over the books, and we said, we do think we have an issue. I said, I'm going to make a phone call to a gentleman that I think can solve it. I picked up the phone. I said, I think we need your help down at headquarters. He says, when do you want me to go? I says, when can you go? He said, I'll be there in the morning. He was. I said, well, what is it going to cost? He says, it'll never cost you a penny. By now, I'm sure everyone is aware of my inductee. Now I remove all doubt. If I had our CEO, Hannes, tell you who was most critical in helping you achieve your goals for NAA, if I ask all presidents, starting with Bill Sheridan, that served while this inductee was your NAA treasurer, asking each one of them, who was your most critical advisor during your tenure in office, the answer would be unanimous. My inductee, my very dear friend, Kurt Kiefer. Kurt, are you?
Geez, thanks. Thank you so much. Just 1 second. I'm just so thankful that I drew the Tommy Williams straw, not the Don Shear straw. I mean to tell you. Tommy, thank you for those kind words. I want to introduce my good friend and my brother, Jim, his wife, Kyle, and Matt and Amy and their daughter, Julia, who I've not met until right now. I'm really proud of my brother. I have the better job in the auction business, but he builds power plants. So if you have the opportunity to talk to him out in the hall, he's really a fun guy to talk to. And if you need to know about like reducing friction in a transcontinental gas pipeline, he's your guy. And, serving on the boards, and I got to serve on a bunch of them especially since 2008. And I served on all the EI board, the foundation board, the NAA board, got to serve with a boatload of people. But my good friends, Christy and Hannes, well, let me first tell you, there's a long, long time ago, there's a period of time, it's called BC, it's before ComBest. And way back then, this organization, this group, this was on Saturday night. And it would start at about 5:30, and we had something called the Parade of Flags. And it took about 45 minutes because we had to call every state, and then we announced the flag bearers and the president and everything. And then we had this, and then we had the CAI members got their pins, and then we had something else. Then we had a paid speaker come out, and he would speak for about a half an hour. And then we had something else and something else. So it would be about 11:30 before this thing got done. So Now we're on Thursday night, and we'll be done before 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to take a lot of time. But as long as I'm up here, and it's taken me 35 years to get up here, so I might as well say a few things. I really have had the most fun and met some of the best people that you will ever meet in this organization. I had the opportunity to work with. And we certainly have had some challenges, and we faced them as a group, and we came out stronger. And I have some terrific friends that I've met over the years, and I thank you all for that opportunity. And thank you for the opportunity to be an auctioneer. And it is, as Tommy said, a profession that I dearly love, and will do it until I die. And I'll keep coming here as long as I can, because I just so enjoy it. I enjoy every time I come. I started coming in Philadelphia in '83, never missed one, and hopefully never will. And I hope my folks are watching. My folks, I'm sure, couldn't come tonight. My dad has some health challenges, but they're 87 and 88 and have played a part in our business. When they retired, they started making slot file boxes and did that for us for 25 years. And when they retired at the lake, and they just stopped doing that 2 years ago. So I hope they're watching, and Mom and Dad, I love you, and thank you very much.
And the plaque reads, presented to Kurt Kiefer, CAI, Fergus Falls, Minnesota, in recognition of appreciation of his outstanding contribution to the profession of auctioneering, the National Auctioneers Association, as the 2015 Hall of Fame Award recipient. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.